Amid a rift over trade, President Trump says that his relationship with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has, quote, come a long way as the two leaders met in the Oval Office today. Earlier this year, President Trump imposed a 35% baseline tariff on Canadian imports, partially over what the White House said was Canada's failure to curb fentanyl smuggling into the U.S. Now, there is an exception for products covered by the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. The U.S. also imposed tariffs on some Canadian exports, including automobiles, steel, aluminum, and softwood lumber. The president spoke about trade negotiations with Canada and also joked about the country becoming the 51st state.
It's a complicated agreement, more complicated maybe than any other agreement we have on trade, because, we have natural conflict. We also have mutual love. We have great love for each other.
And now, and I'm running out of time, but this is in many respects the most important.
The merger of Canada and the United States.
That wasn't where I was going.
President Trump was also questioned about whether federal workers will receive back pay for salaries lost due to the shutdown. It comes after a draft White House memo suggested furloughed workers and federal employees working right now without pay are not guaranteed compensation. For more on this, let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Aaron Navarro. Aaron, thanks for being with us here tonight. So it's getting a lot of attention. What is this draft memo saying? It's coming from the Office of Management and Budget, OMB. What does it really lay out?
Essentially, Nancy, this memo makes a legal argument that the government has no obligation to provide back pay funding for furloughed government workers, as well as those who are working right now still without pay. It focuses in on a 2019 law that is meant to ensure back pay for federal workers called the Government Employee Fair Treatment Act. The administration argues that that law is, quote, sloppily written, and that it is up to Congress to include explicit funding for back pay when they pass a spending bill that will open up the government eventually, whenever that may be. When asked in the Oval Office about it, President Trump said it, quote, depends on who we're talking about when it comes to federal workers getting back pay, but later added that he will follow the law.
And Aaron, what has the reaction to all this been like from Congress?
You're seeing both sides of the aisle push back on this and say that there's no question that these government workers will receive that back pay. The Senate Majority Leader John Thune said he did not know what legal statute this draft memo was referring to, and said that the question of whether people get paid or not is a, quote, non-issue. One figure who was a bit more ambiguous was Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, who said there will be, quote, a lot of discussion about whether the over 750,000 furloughed workers get that back pay. Just want to note that the administration says that this is still an ongoing discussion and there has been no final determination made.
All right, Aaron Navarro, thank you very much for being with us tonight.